welcome again to Rising Stories Podcast. I have a new episode today. I'm Corine Sandifer, your host, and each week I invite you to listen as I chat with business owners and authors about the dynamics of building and running a business and how these writers became published authors. We also delve into topics that we can all relate to, such as work-life balance, living with intention, and dreaming big. As these women share their stories with us, it's my hope that you will be encouraged to live out your own story. So please spread the word and tell a friend about this podcast. Also, if you wouldn't mind heading over to iTunes and leaving me a review, hopefully a good one. And this is important because it helps others find this podcast. So I would love for you to go over and do a review and leave me some stars on iTunes. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Corine Sandifer on Instagram and on Twitter. Have you ever wanted someone to come into your home and just edit your life? To take out the useless things out of your home and give you a routine that brings simplicity and peace back into your world. Like editing a research paper, they would identify the good you should keep and remove the needless things that clog up your brain. My guest today does just that. She is the owner and founder of Your Life Edit, Virginia Richards. Virginia talks to us about our eating habits and how to stop chasing skinny. We also chat about reevaluating the things in our home to give us the life we have always wanted. So let's dive into this. Here's my conversation with Virginia. Hi, Virginia.
Hi. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for coming on Rising Stories. I'm so excited to have you on here. When I saw your email, I was like, yes, because I can't wait to hear about what you do, because I have not found anyone that's like you, and that with your company, it's called Life Edit, or is it called Your Life Edit?
Correct.
Life Edit.
The company name is Life Edit, but my Instagram handle is Your Life Edit. So
because you're touching three major things in people's lives. So tell me more about Life Edit.
Well, Life Edit is a company that I started, and it really evolved after the birth of my daughter. I decided to take my where I was doing is volunteering at hospice as an end-of-life doula, to really try to take that into a business in the community. So I started going out and educating people on what is an end-of-life doula, or maybe I didn't use the word end-of-life doula, but what is it that we can do to still have hope in the end? Is there a way that we can plan and have control over those last months of our lives? And what I continued to find is if people had a lot of obstacles in their life when they heard that news, it was very hard for them to connect physically, mentally, and spiritually with that. So out of that, I decided one day that I really should on the side, I was doing this side hustle where I was helping my friends with their closets and their homes and their nutrition, because I have my nutrition certification.
Okay.
So my passion was helping people in palliative end-of-life care. But on the side, I was doing this hustle for just helping my friends. And then one day, one of my friends said, Virginia, you really should start talking about living more than you're talking about dying. And it's like this light bulb went off, and I was trying to force something to work that maybe we as a community aren't quite ready for. I mean, we all know we don't like to talk about death, and it's just not something our culture really embraces. So I decided from that to start a company called Life Edit, where I help mainly women with what I say, the stuff you encounter every day. So you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is you get dressed. So your closet, you live in your home. And then also, I just think nutrition is such a vital part of our day-to-day life. And if we don't have that in check, we don't have the energy and the strength to run our businesses, to be a good friend, mom, mother, wife. So I really am doing all three, because I just think there's such huge parts of our lives as women. Our closet is what we go in, and that's what we put our uniform on every day. That's how we present ourselves to the world. And in our society right now, we're overcomplicating all of that. And so with the closet and with the nutrition and with the home, I just have this passion for helping women make, like, less is more as my motto. Like, how do you simplify that? How do you take things, out of your space so that you just really feel this calm feeling when you enter in your home, that's really your sanctuary. If you walk in and you have tons of things on your kitchen countertop and you have stuff everywhere, you're not going to feel calm. And if you can't feel calm in your home, well, you're just not going to feel calm in life at all. That should be where you go and you shut off everything around you. And that should be just really a sacred space for you. So, and then in the closet, I think we all know we just overspend, we overbuy, we have too many choices. So I really try to help. I just really try to say, we should stick to our basics. We should simplify. We should invest in quality over quantity. We should avoid this fast fashion trap that we all get in. And then with nutrition, my goal with nutrition is to help people have energy and to teach them how to eat healthy. So with nutrition, I really try to get women out of this vicious cycle of just chasing skinny. So my big thing is, like, how are you going to be strong and how are you going to eat more whole foods? So I'm going to teach you how to eat throughout the day. I'm going to teach you how not to skip meals, how not to binge at the end of the day, how not to wake up the next day because you binged the night before and saying, I'm just not going to eat today. So I'm going to drink coffee. And then noon gets here and you're so proud of yourself. You haven't eaten all day. You're going to be skinny. And then by nighttime comes, because hormonally you're all out of whack, you just binge and then you beat yourself up.
It is a vicious cycle.
So I just really, for me, it's like, how do you eat more whole foods? And how do I find that busy women, if I just give them a plan that says, this is what you need to eat during the day. Here's your 5 meals. This is what you should aim for balanced meals throughout the day. And they just like to be told what to do. I mean, we all want to be told what to do. We have so many decisions to make. So that's what I try to do, and just encourage them to not chase that skinny thing. I mean, it's awful. Then we get skinny and we want to be skinnier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll never be skinny if that's your goal. You'll never be skinny. You'll never feel healthy if that's your goal. So it's more about, how do I take care of my body? How do I eat whole foods? How do I take care of myself mentally? My thoughts about food and about my body, because if the thoughts aren't right, then you're never going to be able to make a change. So those are the things I'm doing.
Yeah. Wow. And so you kind of dive in and with your clients, they come to you and they get all 3, or do you say, I mean, do you have an order? Like, do you do, okay, so first of all, let's get your eating, under control, or do you just do all 3 simultaneously?
I have 3 different services that I offer. I offer what I call just a closet edit, where I come to your house and we just work on your closet. I offer a home service where I come in and I do a consult just on your home. Like, how are we going to prioritize the different areas of your home and help you declutter and just find a method for clearing out your home. And then right now I'm offering an online course I had such a demand for nutrition that I started a course called Health Edit Foundations. And I do it every month. And what I do is, every woman gets their meal plan based on their age, their workouts, their goals. So they're all customized meal plans, but I coach them all together. So every Monday I have a Zoom call is just the app that I use, but we're all on there. We have a private Facebook page. I answer emails on the side, but I just found I could get to more women easier and manage, and I had a better life work balance if I did this as a program, the nutrition side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually asked a friend in Texas that was my wellness coach right after Lila to join me. So she's has a lot of expertise too. So we do the call together. She's Brooke from Crave Well Now is the business that she owns. So right now I'm doing the nutrition part online, and I do take some clients
Mm-hmm.
also. I just limit how many personal one-on-one clients I have. So I can offer 3 different services, 3 different packages. One of the packages is a life edit. So it
Mm-hmm.
is all
The
3.
whole
And
thing.
normally, and I
Yeah.
can do them all together. So while we're working on your nutrition, let's get you on that for a couple weeks, get you feeling better, because that's a lot. To make any change takes a lot of effort. It's not easy. To lose weight is not easy. To change
Mm-hmm.
your eating habits is not eating. Society is against us in all of this. I mean,
Yeah.
everywhere we go, the food choices we have, you know, the advertising, the Instagram, every time you look, someone has something new you're supposed to buy. So telling people to simplify their lives is not something that can happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really just start intentionally making slow choices. So I'll come into their home and we'll work half a day on prioritizing some things, and then we'll do the closet. But it takes, that's usually I work with someone about 8 weeks if we're doing a life edit.
The
And
whole
once a
thing.
week we have
Yeah.
the whole time they're doing the nutrition, but
Right.
every week we have a little bit of a project that we work on.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found with the closet in the home, the first consult I do with someone, I just come in for half a day.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't really tackle some things and see a huge improvement right after that, like after a half a day, then it's harder to motivate you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I'm going to get to that. So
Mm-hmm.
I come through, I always say I come through like a wrecking ball. You can't even like, I have so much energy, and I come in, I'm like, okay, we got to do this has got to go, and I really try to
Yeah.
keep the person energetic and get a lot done.
I totally
I
need
get a lot
to take
done in half a day.
I totally need to take a wrecking ball to my closet at the moment. It's funny because I have and I'm not a clutter bug. It's funny how you were talking about, removing things. I guess I'm, as far as decor, I'm more of a minimalist decorator than anything else. I just have a few things that I love, and I'm always, if something comes in, then something goes out because I don't like a bunch of stuff, and it's just easier for me to clean, really, if I'm gonna, keep things organized. But I love that when people do come into a space that is purged from all the junk and knickknacks that are not loved by the owner, how I often hear people say, "Oh, I love your home. It's just so homey and relaxing." So they
Yes.
really relax when they come in. I mean, not everybody that comes in, but I've heard this time and time again when I've had parties or having people over. And I think it's because they themselves have so much stuff in their home and in their
Yeah.
living room. I mean, there's something on every nook and cranny and corner of their home that it's just like, and when you see things, it's like automatically you're like, I need to maintain that. It's like part of,
Right.
and so you're always thinking that, and it just can really clutter your mind. But
Well, I tell you what I have found, which is amazing. So the less people have, the less they buy.
really,
So the less they have, so let's use a closet, for example. The
hmm
less choices they have, the more they know what they have, the more they feel comfortable with the things they do have. So it's not this just buying to be buying, because you just
hmm
kind of feel overwhelmed with what you're wearing every day, because it's not a systematic, like organized approach to your closet.
hmm
So I did this, and the same with the home. Like the more minimalist it is, the less people have, the less they buy, because it's easier to embrace.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
you have a lot of clutter on your countertop, well, adding more clutter to it just doesn't make a big difference.
hmm
But
hmm
if it's a beautiful, clear space, then you're not going to add stuff. And we have so much sensory overload. I feel like there's just this day that I woke up and I was just like, I just feel overloaded.
Mm-hmm.
So I have got to just, my goal is just to continue to simplify my life, because we have so much coming at us: social media, websites, blogs, books, radio, TV, just stuff all the time, that if I come in my home and I have more stuff coming at me, I never feel like I get that really space where you just take a deep breath and everything's
Mm-hmm.
calm. So, and I think people are catching on to this, and they're realizing that, okay, what do I do for me, but for my family, for my children, to take some of that sensory overload out of their life,
Yeah. Yeah.
and really just come back to that white canvas,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And
What?
it's kind of like with kids. I don't know if people notice when, that you may see some kids that have every toy known to man in their room, and they pull everything out because they can't find what satisfies them and how to play with
Exactly.
that. And so when what I would do, what I did with my kids is I rotated their toys, or I just, every so often would just purge bags of, because they just grow. That kids' toys just breed, I think, on their own. But it's just minimalizing their toys makes them go, like you were saying, I know I have this wonderful toy. I'm going to really invest my time and play with it because I love it. And so instead
Right.
of having 20 toys that you sort of love, I guess that goes together with the closet thing too, right? Like if you have
Yeah.
a favorite skirt or a nice pair of black slacks, you're going to wear them, proudly and love them
Right.
rather than
Well,
just having
and that's
20
what I say
things.
about clothes. I invest in good clothes, but I don't overbuy. I don't just buy clothes because they pop up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I intentionally, for fall, will have a list of things that I need for my fall closet. I will make sure there's nothing in my fall closet that if I didn't wear it last year, I'm getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I will not just go into the store shopping for fall items with no um,
An agenda
list of
list. Yeah.
no agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I help people create that agenda. But back to the kids, some of my favorite projects have been moms who have done it with their kids.
Oh,
I've
really?
gone in and cleaned out their rooms, and literally, bed under their bed is full of stuff and their closet's full of things. And I'll say this to the parents listening: you need to give your children some choice, but sometimes it's overwhelming for them to have the choices. So I mean, my preference is I go in there and I do some work and
Mm-hmm.
let the child come in and kind of see how good it feels to do something,
Mm-hmm.
and get kind of that bug. Oh, this is feeling good. My room's getting pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking the way this feels. And then they have some choice of the stuff they choose, the toys and things. Because if you give them a pile of their things, they're going to go through and just slowly look at everything. Everything has meaning, and it's a little bit hard. But I feel like, as we really need to make this a priority, that we simplify our children's lives and we simplify their space. And they should be able to
Yes.
walk in their room and it should be a really calming thing. So, the color of the walls, I think, is important. Their
Really?
bedding,
Wow. Yeah.
I just think sometimes you have these really bright colors in kids' rooms, and it's that's sensory that's
That's
coming at you,
true. Yeah.
really, let's do as much as we can, light pastel colors, whites in kids' rooms. They need to feel calm in their rooms. They need
Calm.
to be
Mm-hmm.
able. Children don't know how to. This is we're not raising children to be calm, and to learn how to self-soothe
Mm.
themselves, because we're just giving them so much stimulation right now. So I
Yeah.
just think it's important to try to make the rooms that way. I don't even have toys in Lila's room. She has a different room for toys. She has stuffed animals in her rooms, and yes, some things get dragged in her room, but I try to keep the toys out of the room,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I
that
agree.
be the place she goes and sleeps, naps, and reads books. It's just a calming place.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all for that. Yeah. So tell me what do you do for yourself that like what's the one thing that you are doing right now that continues to bring you calmness and peace, maybe in your home or yeah, in your home. Let's start with that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll just tell you my routine.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I wake up in the morning and I wake up early. I wake up at like 5 or 5:30, unless for some reason I've stayed up late the night before, but mainly I wake up so I can have quiet time before Lila wakes up. And it's really important for me to use that time to, um, just really set my intentions for the day, and to be present. I do a lot of things on Instagram and I do Insta stories, and I
Hmm.
love it because I love having the platform to connect with people. But it can really take you off balance if you
Hmm.
don't like intentionally set that for the day, that you want to do that in love and share with others, but that, you have to, I want to like just check myself first in the mornings. Um, and then I exercise. I exercise every morning. It's just going to get my endorphins going. It's going to get me a good mood to start the day with my audience. Um, and in my home, and then I would just say, a healthy breakfast. So I think like if I could just look at my day, like what I do that 1/3 of my day, like before breakfast is crucial. Like if I
Hmm.
don't get all of that in before breakfast, then my day is just not gonna, it's not going to flow the way I need it to. And I also tell people I'm using a guest bedroom as an office. It's really actually it's become my dog's
It's
room,
your
I think.
dog's room.
He sleeps in the bed. He's in here at all times, but I've made the closet a meditation spot.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think people think they have to have they
Like a
can't just
separate
do it in their
room or
home, a
yeah.
separate room. But in that closet, I go in the closet, I shut the door behind me. I know everyone doesn't
Yeah.
have a walk-in closet in the guest room, but it's small. And
Uh-huh.
I light a candle. I have sage that I burn in the morning. I hold different stones. I say a prayer. I love stones because I feel like they just ground me to the earth.
Hmm.
And sometimes I just feel like, um, we are on social media so much, you can just become ungrounded.
Oh,
So
totally. Yeah.
I grab those just to feel like I'm connected to the ground. It's just an act of being grounded. And I tell people it's just all you have to do is say something. All you have to do is say every morning, I am grounded, I am intentional, I'm doing this out of love and not out of fear, and take my ego out of it. Like I
Hmm.
say that to myself every morning. And then I say a prayer. And I sometimes use like different oracle cards to think of the different things I want to meditate on. Um, but that might take me 10 minutes. Doesn't take me long. And then
Yeah.
I'm ready to knock out the day.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that whole, grounded thing. Some of the things that I do, and I don't have a routine. I guess I do have a morning routine, but not so much, not as precise as that. I would love to, I need to work on that. But what is helpful for me is sometimes, and you mentioned this about social media and everything is just coming at you and being that my work is also, on social media and I'm, answering emails and sort of, my business is I'm a business and life coach. So I'm giving and kind of pouring out that I need something to come back in. And a lot of times I'll just like go outside barefoot, especially in the summertime and
Yes.
spring and fall, and just sort of like
Oh,
walk on the
love that.
grass. I, kind of walk my dog a little bit. And because I just feel like just getting back into, nature and what is true, like, seeing God's beauty and just being in it rather than, behind a computer, which,
I think it's so important. And I think forever, I didn't speak my truth in that because we're in the South and, it's
Mhm.
Southern. And I thought that, people would think I'm not like a Christian or I don't believe in God if I talked about that I hold stones and, I ground myself to the earth. But I just learned that this is my truth and it's okay to speak it.
Yeah.
And I think that people need to realize that these small acts do wonders for your day.
Yes.
So take your shoes out, take your shoes off,
Mm-hmm.
go walk outside, step in the grass, and just say, I am grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And then that will take you 30 seconds, come back in, do your work, and you're
Yeah.
grounded. You can be driving down the car and you can be driving in the car and in traffic and you're stressed and you have all this stuff going on. But if you stop and you say, I am not stressed, I'm in control, I
Mm-hmm.
feel good. Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
good. We just have to, our brains are just it's such a powerful thing.
They are. And they need breaks. I think that's why I do that. You need a break from the crazy things that are coming at you. And so I love that you have that routine. I'm feeling inspired. I really need to think about what my morning routine looks like and should look like. And like I said, I do have a few things that are in there, but I don't know if I have it like the same every morning. So maybe I need to work on that part of it all. But so Virginia, tell me what do you think about when people say, Virginia, how do you do work-life balance? Like you're running this company, you have a child, you cook, you clean, and you're doing all this other stuff. How do you, speak about balance for yourself and for, what does that look like?
Well, it's hard. I mean, I'm not going to
Yes.
say it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hard for me before I did um, social media, and I find
Mm,
that's been the challenge for me because that's something that could happen at any time during the day.
that's true. Yeah.
The number one thing I do is I try to eat. I know it
Yeah.
sounds simple, but I don't skip meals. I try to eat balanced meals. I really try to be healthy and exercise, and then I can do everything else with energy, and
Mm,
I'm more balanced. So I know it just sounds
yeah.
cliche, but eating healthy. The days I don't eat, I've missed some meals or something. I'm just way more off balance. I'm too tired at night to take care of
Mm-hmm.
Lila. Um, I also have to say, so my business is still new and I'm putting a lot out there and seeing what sticks still. And I have given myself permission with any startup. I think you have to do this, that this is a season. And my
Absolutely.
husband
Yes.
and I agree on it. And we agree that
Mm-hmm.
this is the season of me building my business. And we have decided that I can continue doing what I'm doing, the longer hours, the more hustling or whatever you want to call it, until January. And at the end of January, we're going to sit down and we're going to reevaluate it and see, okay, so what does this look like and what are we going to do going forward? So right
Mm-hmm.
now I have set hours that Lila's in school. I have set hours that I have a sitter. I have, I have a lot of things scheduled and it's very busy. I'm not going to say this, I don't like to use the word busy. I like to use, it's very full.
Very full. Yeah.
So, I think that you have to, with the balance is you have to have strategy. You have
Mm-hmm.
to know that if you're full, that it's okay that it's full, but is it full for the right reason? Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
full right now because I'm starting a new business and I
Mm-hmm.
understand that. And I don't know anyone that started a new business that didn't say they were that way and succeeded. So, I have a date where I'll sit down and reevaluate it. But the main thing with balance is knowing that I have to eat healthy. I have to exercise. And sometimes I have to leave my phone plugged in the charger by the front door and not look at, I have to,
Mm-hmm.
since a lot of my work is done on the phone as far as promoting and talking to people, I have to really shut my phone down. And that's
Yeah.
something I've learned to be present with Lila. I just can't even I need to just take it away. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true balance because balance is, I always imagine that, when someone says balance to me, I just think about that, that big scale, which, you're putting things on, you're taking them off, you're putting things on, taking them off. And sometimes it's off balance and sometimes it's more on balance. And some people say work-life balance is, an oxymoron. It's not going to happen, and I sometimes agree with that too. So, but I totally love that you kind of give the proper places for Instagram stories. You're giving it into your life. You're making boundaries. You're putting them exactly where they belong. Because I feel like it's so easy to get off balance when you are working a business and you have could possibly have your entire business in the palm of our hands. We
Right.
have it just right there, and it's always buzzing and doing stuff. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of notifications for that reason, because somebody was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, didn't you get my email? I'm like, no, I haven't checked my email for the day, because it just doesn't buzz all the time, because
I
I
agree.
couldn't
I have no
do it.
notifications.
I
I don't
just
know how
can't
people
do
do
it.
that.
I
Yeah,
know.
I don't have any notifications set for sure. And I will say what I've done for balance too is my Insta stories that I love doing. Those are my journey, my life journey.
Yeah.
So my Insta stories are more like, this is what I'm doing today.
Uh-huh.
I haven't made that as much marketing life edit and doing like making it really professional. And
Right.
when I go in people's home, I really believe your home is like your sacred space. And sometimes I show it, but a lot of times I don't. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
take my phone into work with me. And I'm just figuring it all out. But my Insta stories, everyone knows I misspell words. I say things wrong. I haven't done my hair, in like days.
I
I
love
just
that.
kind
I
of,
love that.
this is just for that is just my life and my
Yeah.
journey. And I'm showing people what I'm doing every day. So they're kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I roll with it. And if I was trying to make that an actual professional business thing, it would take a lot more work for me, and I probably would lose a little of that balance. So right now I'm just rolling with it.
Yeah. So tell me, what is your favorite app on your phone these days? And it doesn't have to be business
Okay,
related.
so
Oh,
well, it's not. So I have two that I'm loving, and one is just the Audible app
I love that.
because
Yeah.
I love books. I just don't have time to read right now. I have so much
Mm-hmm.
to do with my work that I just don't get through my books. And so what I've done is I've started downloading books and listening to them while I'm driving, and I'm just loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I listen to one that I really love, then buy it. And so because there is things I just still love, I'm a highlighter. I got to
Mm-hmm.
highlight those things.
Yes.
So, and I'll go back and I'll kind of can then skip through it and kind of remember like the points I really want to get out of the book. So, and then the Calm app and the Headspace Calm apps, the meditation apps. So the Calm, it's amazing. I can set a 20-minute one. I can like lay down and just say, it just is calming. And you can do it, play them for your kids.
Oh,
And I
that's
feel like
nice.
it's great to start practicing, that even if you play them in the car, like while you're
Mm-hmm.
driving, or I'll just be like before bed, I'll turn the lights off and I'll turn like a little night light on and play some for Lila. So she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel like she's still going to sleep. I mean, it's still hard. She's not even
Mm-hmm.
3 yet, but I say experiment with the calm meditation with your kids, but all for you, it's for every mother.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
need 20 minutes sometimes to hear someone talking soothing to you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I love that. And I do love my Audible app, and anything where I can listen to a book, someone read to me. That's just, I love
It's
that.
so good.
I
Yeah, I
love
agree.
anytime somebody will read to me. I love books, Audible
Someone the
books.
other day asked me, "What music are you listening to right now?" I was like, "What? There's such thing as music?"
Yeah, because
I
you're always,
forgot about
yeah.
music because I'm always listening to a book. I'm like, "Oh
Uh-huh.
my goodness."
Yeah, I know. I don't, yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll have like a book on the nightstand that I'm reading, or a book on Audible. What helps me, and I was talking to my book club about this, is that what bothers me when I'm listening to a book, the last one I read was What Alice Forgot. And it was such a great book, such a great book. Uh, but when I'm listening to a novel like that, I would love like a cheat sheet that has all the characters,
Yes.
so I can keep them in. because I'm very visual. I am a visual person.
Me
And like
too.
you, I love to underline and highlight and make notes in the margin, whatever, of my books. But I don't have time to read, but I love to listen to books. And so having that sheet of like, okay, so there's Alice, there's this person, there's, this is her husband, nothing that's going to give away the plot, but it would just make things so much easier because when you're listening to it, you're like, oh, who is that? Well, it's just
I
harder.
know. And I try to quickly write down notes. So I do
Mm-hmm.
agree with that. That's what I mean by if something really speaks to me, I end up then having to buy the book because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've missed out on things.
Exactly
So,
who. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are three things that you're absolutely loving these days?
okay. Three things I'm absolutely loving. Vital proteins, collagen peptides.
And
I
what is
start my
that?
day. Well, collagen peptides is just amino acids. And you're getting, collagen is the thing that holds everything together in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And as we age, we lose it. Um, so adding that back into your diet is super important, and it helps build muscle, bone, cartilage, skin, hair, connective tissue, all these great things. It's in your body, but you just lose it as you age. So it's good
Mm-hmm.
to add it back in.
And what do
And
you
it's
add
just
it
an
into?
easy way to get protein. It's just a powder. It has no taste.
Oh,
I
okay.
add it to my coffee. Add it to my coffee because I know I drink a cup of
Yeah.
coffee every
Could
morning,
you
but
add
you
it
could
to
add it to your
water?
smoothie.
Or oh yeah,
You can
smoothie.
add it. They have some, they're like water flavors, like that, or
Oh.
like watermelon or something that you can add to your water.
Okay.
So loving my collagen peptides. Loving these blue blockers, I think is what they call them. It's from a company called Felix Gray.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my computer a lot. I suffer from dry eyes, so
Oh
I'm really
yeah.
my eyes are sensitive, and I've noticed wearing these glasses when I'm like typing emails or writing a blog post or something have really helped. So I'm loving those. And then let's see, what is the third thing? Oh, I'm listening to a book on Audible, Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. The Universe Has Your Back, and I'm loving it. So,
I've not heard about that. Is
oh,
it
I love it. I really feel like she just speaks my language. One of those books you listen to and you're like,
mm-hmm.
oh, am I talking or is she talking? So, no, I
Really?
just love it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. It's The Universe Has Your Back. It's how to transform your fear into faith and just live your best life, basically. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, and that's what you're in the business of doing, really. You're helping
yeah,
people live their best life because,
um,
you just want to you want to make things easy and work for you rather than, you working for the things, right?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've always had this compassion. I knew I'd be in some type of work where I'm like servicing people. And I really thought it would be in the nursing home or in hospice.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, things just happen. And this is where I know this is the path I'm supposed to be on. But I know that if I could help people just live day to day better, that when that catastrophic thing happens to you, which hopefully it will not, but you just never know. But you just never know when that letter's going to hit or when that thing's going to happen in your life, where in that moment, right then, everything changes.
Right, yeah.
And the more you have things in order, it's not going to make that better, but it's going to help you through it. It's not going
Right.
to be as hard. So, I mean, like your papers in order, I always tell people your advanced directives, all those things, you have to do them. You have to have
Mm-hmm.
that stuff ready. So,
Absolutely. I love that you did that you were an end of life doula and that now you are helping people to just be prepared. Like you said, you never know when that's going to happen. And it may never for that person, but at least they can be living their life to the fullest and And if and when that happens, they are ready to turn their attention towards getting better or helping that dying loved one, rather than having to deal with the stuff and not being organized and having a grip. I always think of like, I need to get a grip. So
No, and I know like mothers, like especially after they have a child, everyone says before you're nesting, you're getting your home in order. Well, there's a reason women nest. Like, it doesn't matter. Everything cannot be in order, but if our homes are in order, our closets are in order, like we have healthy food on the table, we feel like it's all in order. Yeah. So it's important to know that, nesting is real and it's important.
It is.
And so there's a reason we all do it before we have a baby. It's like the universe is trying to protect us. It's telling us that is an important thing to do.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Virginia, for coming on. This was so much fun getting to know you.
I know, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Wow, I loved her thoughts on choosing the right color palette for a kid's room. And what did you think about those glasses that block those lights from your computer and device screens? Amazing. Such a game changer. I will have all of those links in the podcast description down below and in the show notes. And as an added bonus, Virginia is offering Rising Stories listeners a 20% discount on her Health Edit Foundations program with the promo code LifeEdit20 for the month of October 2017. If you're listening to this podcast after this date, please visit the show notes at CorineSandifer.com to connect directly with Virginia and find out what classes she has available. If you missed something that you wanted to jot down from this episode, no worries, because I've added a whole lot to the iTunes description on the app, and it's also on the show notes at CorineSandifer.com. Please consider supporting Rising Stories podcast by purchasing books and products mentioned on this show with the links provided in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and keep rising in your story.